once they're stuck with you, they don't divert at all.
Yeah.
I know they can be a little foggy, but they're very loyal.
Super loyal. The thing about Aries, it could be any place in your chart, right? It could be your sun sign, it could be your rising, it could be your moon. I think Braun is Aries moon. Yeah. Which, I never want to fuck with an Aries moon. It's like 0 to 100, and I love it for them. I just don't ever want to be on the other side of it. I think it's like you don't poke the bear. But it could be your Venus, Aries and Venus, the chaser. And then once they have you, you're done. Like, this is a super fun placement. I think when we think of Aries, we do think of selfishness, we think of impulsiveness, we think of self-centeredness. And why not? You're the first sign of the zodiac, right? You are the beginning of the astrological new year. But if we really think about Aries and their positive traits, they're optimistic, right? I think I can do it. Of course, they are the I am. That is their two words that signifies them, the I am. They are bold, they're courageous, they take risks. And I think with this new moon, we need to embody that along with the selfishness. Because for especially women, we do so much for everybody else on either like a physical, an emotional way. We're carrying heavy loads, all of us. So I think I really want for you, and I know for myself, to really carry this energy that I am special, I am important, I am worth taking the trip, I am worth whatever you want, dating, whatever it is in your life that is going on. But I really want us to embody that. Any questions about Aries? This moon is at 0 degrees. So 0 is the beginning. So this is a great time to set intentions. And the way that we're going to move through this journaling is we're going to be scripting our daily, or something that we want to happen in our life. I don't care what it is for you. It's going to be different for all of us. And it comes from the law of assumption from Neville Goddard. And we have the law of attraction, right? Thinking, believing, whatever. But what he talks about is this visualizing that you are in that thing. So feeling the emotion of that thing happening, seeing all the things, hearing all the things, touching the things when you're in your visualization. So what we're going to do, and I think that's a really good way to set intentions, because if you see yourself in it, then it's out there somewhere. At least that's my belief, it's out there somewhere. I did it for Ireland. I'm going to tell you like super quickly how I did it for Ireland, because I'm kind of ridiculous in general. But Ireland was, last year I went to Ireland in July, and it was kind of like I was fed up with life in general. Like, I'm a Leo rising, so I've had some very hard transits the last 3 years, and then 3 years before that, I have a Capricorn sun, and Saturn was sitting with my sun so it's been a lot for these last 6 years. And I don't know, last year I didn't like my job, I didn't like anything, and I was like, I'm leaving this country. I just gotta go. And she has always inspired me to travel. So I was like, where can I go? It's gonna either be Scotland or Ireland, which is cheaper. Ireland happened to be cheaper. And so I just booked the trip, and I shared a classroom with 2 coworkers, and they were like, you're gonna have the best time. It's gonna be so much fun. And one of the things that I said to them that I then scripted later on was, I wanna walk into a pub. I wanna lock eyes with some Irish man. And I want him to be like, yes, we're just gonna have fun. The rest of this trip, he's gonna take me places, and it's just gonna be like amazing. And my friends there, this is why you need hype people in your life. We're like, yes, that is absolutely gonna happen to you. You're definitely gonna do it. And then I learned this from when I had a life coach. She was like, script out things how you want them to be. Like, you never know. And so I scripted it out, and the script is literally the same exact thing. Like, I'm gonna walk into a pub, I'm gonna meet this guy, he's gonna think I'm amazing. We're gonna spend the rest of the 6 days together, and it's just gonna be this best trip. I don't know if anything will come of it, but like, I'm open. And then I put myself on Bumble, my location in Bumble in Dublin, like 3 weeks before I got there. I meet several guys that are all super sweet. If you haven't been to Ireland, that's the place to be, man. And super sweet. One stuck out, right? So one stuck out. I accidentally video chatted him before I got there. So we were like chatting with each other. And before I get there, he's like, "Oh, do you want to? I want to take you out on a date." And I was like, "I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm in another country, and I was solo traveling." And he was like, "It's no pressure. If you don't like me, that's it." And I was like, "Okay." And then he was like, "Oh, and I think I want to take you somewhere over the weekend." And I was like, "Okay, that's also weird because like I'm an American. You can't like chop me up in the little pieces." It's fine, right? And the closer we got, I was like, "Okay, we'll go." I think I got. I was like, "Just do it. Like you don't know, or whatever. Like it'll be fine." And so I get there. He meets. He goes through these obstacles for me because I'm really just like not it. Like I'm like whatever, guy. I am gonna be a hot mess here. Like you're not gonna, you know. And we meet because he does take me to dinner like the night that I get in, and like instantly, it is it. And we spend every single day together on my vacation. He takes me to places I would have never ever been if it was just me solo traveling. And towards the end, he's like, "I think I want to come. I think I should visit you." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, you can. It's fine." And then he starts looking at flights, and I was like, "I probably should take him seriously, honestly." And then he came out here in September. I went back there in November. He came back in January, and I'm going back in March.
Oh, wow.
And so I think I might have shared it with Brown when I was just going through my journal, like just going through to see like things, and I found the script, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like,
Like matching it to
oh, matching it to the T.
You screenshotted it, I think, and put it.
Okay, oh yeah, I think maybe I did that. And I was just like, oh my god, I will
Yeah.
script everything, big things. I don't script everything, but this job I have, I scripted. There's just things that I've scripted, and it's really about imagining that you're in that during the visit. But that word, it's not happening for me. It hasn't happened all week. I've been practicing. It just won't come out. I'm gonna use imagining. Speech pathologist, I'm changing vocabulary.
Good tactic.
Thank you. It's my strategy.
Combination.
It's really about imagining. You know, there's so much. I'll read this quote for us before we get started. But one reason I do this is so women can know that like anything is possible. It's possible. That if I have seen it, done it, then anybody can see it and do it, right? And I really want everybody to embody that kind of stepping out and not being 100% sure it's gonna work out. Not being like Aries, like an unevolved Aries and just doing shit just to be doing shit and we're killing it, like other people's lives are falling apart, your life is falling apart. But like some calculated risk, I think that is very important, especially the chaos of the world is going on right now. It's like, what can I do that's calculated but would bring me some joy, some pleasure, some fun, right? Like, and I want because we get so caught up in making sure everybody else is good and right and fine. You end up being 40, 45, however old, and be like, oh, I mean, I don't even think I know myself really well. Do I like that? Do I like that? So it's really about taking this opportunity as we are switching seasons. Tomorrow's the equinox, as we have this wonderful new moon that's happening at 0 degrees of cardinal energy. Cardinal are the signs that bring in the seasons. Capricorn, cardinal earth. Aries, cardinal fire. Cancer, cardinal water. And Libra, cardinal air. I was like, please don't let me do that. And so what we want to do during those times is really start new things. It could be starting a new mindset. It can be starting to get your resume together. It can be starting to look at trips. It can be starting to like think about what your dating life looks like. It could be starting anything. It could be starting like, okay, a new exercise regimen depending on where it is. I do like to see where it is happening in my natal chart and sometimes align it to that specific house. So if you know and you want to ask me what that house embodies, I can tell you that. But I think it's really important for us to really step into our power and really do what wealthy white women do, right? When they're just kind of like, I think I can do it. I'm just gonna do it. And part of me, and I said this last time, is scripting is really an easy way to get to that manifestation, that kind of like believing, because a lot of us have had a hard time imagining because we weren't allowed to imagine when we were younger. So writing it down in detail. So when we write, I'm gonna give you tons of time to write. When we write, we want to script out it in detail. the things that you see, the things that you hear, maybe the things that you smell. You want to be what you have on. One of the scripts I did before was like just for a partner, and it was just like I want him, and like I get home from work, and then he texts me, "What do you want to eat?" Like I mean, to that kind of detail, not just like I want a partner who's tall, dark, and handsome with a big da da da. Like that's a given. We all know that. Like, can we get very specific about how you want it to look, how you want it to feel? That is what we're going for in this scripting. Questions so far? I know I've been blabbing so much. Sorry. Questions, comments. What was I going to say? For you, Bronwyn, you have a lot. Like your natal moon, this moon, and the sun will all be sitting next to each other in your chart, right? So it's just time for creation. So it's really about embodying and what you want to create. For me, it's happening in my ninth house, which is the house of like foreign abroad travel. Yes, of course I'm traveling. Did I know this was like I kind of knew, but I don't plan it like that. Travel, higher learning. So I'm gonna sign up for yoga teacher training. So there's all these things that are happening in the ninth house, this Aries house for me of like, this is what I want to start in this house. Any questions about the houses that do you guys know where you're rising?
I don't know.
You have your phone, you could do, your birth time, you could do like Cafe Astrology or Astro.
I have all water.
That's rough.
I think my moon is Scorpio.
I love Scorpio moon.
And I think Pisces was.
You're rising.
Yeah.
So
Your rising. So your sun sign is your sign that you're born in.
Yeah, so let me do a quick, Cynthia and Ayala be like, oh my gosh, she says this every time. You'll be able to do it next time. Your sun is like your personality. It's the day you were born in the season. So we all know it. It would be the January 2nd. That's Capricorn season. I'm a Capricorn. Your rising sign gets way more detailed, and that's how you find your housing. So your rising is based on the time you were born. So that's why you need to know that, and then that's how everything falls in your natal chart. Alrighty, so, and then your moon sign is where the moon was. So that changes quickly also, but 2.5 days, not like your rising. So the rising changes every 2 hours. So you can have twins that have different risings, completely different. So that's why if I meet another January 2nd, 1978, 7:55 p.m., and they were born in Scotland, our charts won't look the same because of where things are happening on the horizon. So your chart is really a good makeup of who you are. So that's super important. And your moon sign is your emotional, how you deal with relationships, all of that good stuff. I also like to look at the Venus. So how do you love and how do you need to be loved is very important too. That's also a good one. Mercury, how you communicate. If you're a Mercury in Aries, which Mercury is in Aries now, y'all probably gonna be wanting to say some shit to some people with your whole chest. Because Aries is gonna say with their whole chest and be so wrong sometimes, but you're gonna feel like you're right. So in my weekly one, I was just like, be mindful of the things that you're saying because you're gonna want to say it.
Yeah.
But like, come on, like think it all the way through. Like, don't be so impulsive with the saying it. But yeah, so if you want to know where I can tell you what that house stands for, go ahead, kid.
Mine is in my third house.
Your third house. So communication, short distance travel. So if we're thinking about like maybe you want to plan a little trip to Vegas, Colorado, something short that you can drive. It deals with cars, driving, communication, starting a blog, writing a book, starting journaling, communicating to others. Your technology, maybe using that in your everyday communication. That's also siblings, but really female siblings. So for you, you do. So like female siblings, like, wait, not through me, but you do. So it would be siblings or cousins and stuff like that. That would be the third house. Yeah. Anybody else?
You have a Sagittarius rice.
Ooh, so it's fueling that fire. Yeah, it's trining yours, which is super sweet too. So the Sag rising. So what house is that in for you?
I have no idea.
The fifth?
If it's sad,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
fifth. So that's the house of dating, the
Oh,
house of romance, also the house of creativity,
I like that one.
the house of children, not necessarily your children, but it can be other people's children. It's a fun house. I actually really love the fifth house with Aries going through. It's like getting super into dating because it's wild out here. It can be about creativity, like getting back into your creativity and really starting fresh and anew with a new sense of like purpose and determination, and maybe being risky with your creativity. If you're talking about children, not you maybe not wanting to have them, but maybe children play a part in your creativity, or you do seek time with children and just have a good time with them. But yeah, that would be fifth house stuff. Yeah.
So how do you know what house you're in?
So if let's say you're a Pisces rising, go to Pisces, and then it'll have second. So the second house would be like self-confidence, your self-worth. It also is your earned income. So for me, it would be a time to really love on yourself, really start those affirmations of like, I'm the baddest, I'm the best, I'm amazing, I'm worthy, but also like realizing, is your earned income, are you valuing yourself? Is your earned income and your value on the same level? Do you think you should be earning this and your job is like, no? Then there's something you need to do to write that out. So that would be like second house Aries stuff for this new moon. Anybody else?
So I think we talked about mine. It's sun, is it the sun?
Your Gemini sun.
Okay, so, but I forgot what.
Which one your other one is?
Right, I think you told me I was.
The Aquarius. What is
Because
it?
we talked about the Aquarius.
We did.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm an Aquarius
Rising. Okay, so
and so mine's in the third house.
ooh, I like, so same as, Ayana, so it would be that kind of like, and I know what you do, so like, it would definitely be maybe like short distance travel, it would definitely be like, maybe getting back into your podcasting, blogging, even if it's your travel blogging, it would be really communicating to others, to the collective, especially when we're talking about Aquarius, is communicating, I know you do that, so it would be all the things you do. And it's interesting because you're a Gemini, so you're ruled by Mercury anyway. And so Mercury rules the third house. So that's the house that you're most comfortable probably in, that kind of traveling, whether short distance or long, getting people to travel also and talking about it, communicating about it. So yeah, it's a very comfy house for you. Yeah. Yes.
Piggybacking off of that, because I know Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, but I don't think we approach things the same way.
Absolutely do not.
Communication wise.
Yeah.
So communication, do it.
Yes. So what we want to do, basically it would be like, could you please stop planning and actually do it, right? So the Aries energy would be embodying that cardinal do it. Right? Because here's the thing about cardinal energy, Capricorns, Libras, Aries. They don't always see it to the end, but they do get it started for people, right? A Cancer can get the nurturing going, the collaboration. So can Libras. Libras help you see how you need to collaborate to end up at your destination. Capricorns too are going to show you how you need to work and put a schedule together to get shit done. And Aries are going to show you how you can start things without being like, I don't need everything in place, right? They don't always see things done, but they will initiate. So we need to embody this initiation. So you'll see on the second page, after we do the meditation, it's going to be like, okay, what are 3 things I can do to get the ball rolling? Because we don't want to stop at the like, oh, we scripted, I saw me in it. It seems so amazing. It seems so real. And then leave this place today and do nothing about it. That's what usually happens. I mean, I do the same. So this is a judgment free zone. Any more before I let y'all, I'll tell you what to do. So here is what we're gonna do. All right, so you have your little paper. Ayana's my print factory. I love her.
Thank you.
I don't work in office anymore. So the title is My Perfect. Now, this is yours. This is your practice. However you want to daydream it, it's fine. So I just have a title because I need sentence starters. You know, I was a special ed teacher. Some people need sentence starters to get them revved up. Not everybody can just pull ideas out of the sky. So this could be my perfect nighttime routine, my perfect mindfulness practice, if that's something you want to start. My perfect dating life would look like this. My perfect career, my day life. What I did about for this job was I said I wanted to wake up and look at emails in the morning and drink coffee at the same time. I did not want to commute every day. And I was just like envisioning it, and lo and behold, I am here with it. Yeah, I'm here with it. And part of it was this. I wanted to do this. So so it could be anything, my perfect whatever. And this is all we're gonna do right now. We're not gonna do the second page, but I do want you to look at the bottom because everything is always working out for you. Everything is always working out for you. Okay? That's something I say like daily to myself, even when the shit be hitting the fan. Because it does. I can just roll through it a lot easier these days. So I'm gonna give you some time. There's gonna be some Aries new moon music on. I'll give us about 7 minutes to start jotting. If you have any questions about what house this is and you want to align it to that house, let me know. But this time is your own. I will stop talking. And it's all you.
Can we put multiple ones on there?
Multiple. So this is what I say about multiple. Yeah. As a special education teacher that has to give goals to students, I am a bare minimums kind of person because it's really hard for us to do it all, right? So I'm gonna give you an example, and if I'm talking too much, you definitely tell me. So for our students with IEPs, they usually have one reading goal, one math goal, one writing goal. That's what I try to always do, even if they have several problems. I know in the classroom, we can kind of pinch hard. You'll come into some meetings and people will want 3 writing goals, 2 math goals, 5 reading goals. We're talking about a kid that has a disability. Tell me one goal you got through, and you have a typical brain. Tell me one that we did, right? And so when you put it on the table, I'm like, oh yeah, let's make it tiny so we can detail it and see that very clearly. But yes, you can definitely do several, but you can do this several times.
So would you recommend the one that we focus on right now as the one that's been more piercing at us?
Yeah.
Like for me, it's a balance of career, family, my own health, and financial, just getting just a tad bit stronger.
Yeah.
So I'm like, as soon as she said that, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, my perfect career,
Yeah.
perfect family routine, like all of that.
Yes.
Which one is the most piercing?
I would do which one is the most pressing for you. Which one is your intuition and your gut? Because Aries are highly intuitive. That's why they're so impulsive. Which one is speaking to your soul at this moment in time? And then you want to be very, if you're like, I'm writing too much, no, you want to be crispy clean because we're going to take this with us when we do the mindfulness practice. Okay? So we want to be very, very clear. Even I have on blue shoes and they have on purple. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but you want to be that kind of specific. I get a text message, right? It's like a comic book, kind of. That's the way I think about it, that kind of scripting. But yeah, you want to do the most pressing. But know at any time, you can come back to this practice. You can do it for everywhere. I've done it for career. I've done it for love life. I've done it for housing. So I've done it for lots of pieces of my life. And it's ever changing also. Because as we have new experiences, some things filter out of it. We no longer like, oh, I didn't like that. I got it, but I didn't really like it. Let me read. Right? And that's okay too. We're ever evolving creatures, even if we don't feel like we are. Yeah, I'm gonna set a timer just because I'm an old lady. And why not? Let me try this out a little bit. And if the timer goes off one more time, we have the luxury of more time. We got some fire music because we need to be excited about what we like. Are you guys good with, do you guys want a can of the sparkly water?
I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll bring it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we got two.
You want another one? You're good. Okay.
You're welcome.
I feel like LaCroix just knows how to do a bubbly.
They do. I like their off brand. I like the other brands, but they reign supreme.
It's always so crisp.
You taking pictures of y'all? If you want me to put emojis over here, just tell me after. And as you're writing it, you might want to start envisioning it also, right? Like you want to just really start embodying it. We're going to embody it later, but definitely as you're writing it, you want to see yourself in it as you are doing this thing, that you are in this scenario. Yeah. If you tell me fire, I'm immediately going to pick this song. And then replay the Martin episode over and over again. have about 1 minute. Do we need more time? I'm good for accommodation. So do we need more time? We can do more time.
Wrap it up and just say, we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Are we okay? You might want to end it with something that's like, I can't believe this is my life. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful. I'm such a jokester, so I would have like, who would have thunk it? I can't believe I'm here. This is amazing. However you want to end it. I love when people are like, no, we don't need more time. It's amazing.
Wrapping it up.
I love it.
Wrapping up the
I gotta make this one little last thing. One more thing.
5 more minutes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for us. You know. When do we get an opportunity to really set some time aside to do these things, right? Because we have so many things going on. Even if we're single, living in our own little places, you know, there's just so much.
I just realized how much I need prompts. So I got the one journal, I have to get the other ones, but.
Tell me which one, because I have some here if you want.
But I'm like, prompts, those are.
Prompts are super important for people that have ADHD, not diagnosed, but kind of undiagnosed or whatever, busy brain people. It is so helpful to have prompts. Like, and it's partly my brain, but also for teaching kiddos that need prompts. Once you get them started, they can go.
Yeah.
Adults are the same way. I don't know why we pretend adults don't need accommodations. Like we do. All right. So here's what you have in your little baggies. And this is totally optional. So the next portion, we're going to move into the mindfulness practice, where I'm going to do a lot less. I'm not going to do any talking. I was very different than the last mindfulness practice, because this is you envisioning. So you'll have music in the background. I'm going to prompt you on how to get to your place, the dream life that you've scripted. But once you get there, it's you visualizing. I did it. In that place. It's just you being in that moment. I want to give you some caveats for it. If this is a judgment-free zone, and I say it jokingly, but I also say it very seriously. If you're smiling because you see something in that vision that you're happy, you should smile, like in your physical body. If you like anything that's happening, you should embody that thing. Okay, it's really important piece of that of the manifestation. In your little goodie bag, you have 3 things. You have a red candle. I'm huge into fire magic. So with the red candle, because Aries, fire, red, come on, gotta do it. You can hold that in one of your hands as you're envisioning the scripting life that you wrote. And then on Tuesday, you can burn the candle. So burning the intention back into the universe. I'm a candle girl when it comes to new moon and full moons. You also have our carnelian crystal. Carnelian is really tiny, so don't lose it. But if you lose it, it's okay. A carnelian is a crystal that is very Aries-like. It is to the sacred, sacral energy. So it's the embodiment of attraction. So attracting love, attracting career, it's magnetism. It also has to do with like intuition. So it's really sacral, that womb, that birthing of something new. I forgot to even mention that. Aries, if you look at tarot, 2 cards represent Aries in the tarot deck, the Emperor and the Empress. When you look at the Emperor, he's sitting like an emperor. He knows his shit. He is the shit, right? When you look at the Empress, she's pregnant on the throne, birthing. She's the birther of new ideas, of children, of creativity. She's birthing. It's a beautiful card to get. If somebody pulls you the Empress, doesn't mean you're going to be pregnant. It means birthing new things, okay? And she's very comfortable in it. She's not refusing the birth. She's just big and sitting and enjoying, okay? So you can hold both in the hand and use both of those as a divination. And the other thing is a steamer. So you drop that in the shower, the package thing. It's a eucalyptus steamy thingy. So when you're in the shower, it'll smell like eucalyptus all over your shower. And that's just inviting very brand new energy in your life, right? When we shower, you could do a mindfulness practice in the shower and just wash away the day and inviting in the new. However, whenever you shower, we're all on different schedules. But so those are the three things that you have in the goodie bag. I thought it was really important to share those with you for this time. But as you're moseying your way into a laying down or a comfortable, I'm going to invite you to get in a very comfortable position. That could be laying on your belly, it could be laying on your back, it could be seated, a seated meditative pose. Whatever is comfortable for you. You can have your papers next to you. You can fold up the first page and put it next to your heart. You can put it under your root chakra, so you're grounded and rooted with it. You can leave it on the clipboard. You do whatever you want. But I am going to invite you to get in a very comfy position. So however that works for you.
Does it matter what hand you use?
I'm a left hand girl because your heart is connected to the left hand. So I usually hold things in my left hand, but also, it's your practice. There are no rules for this. And then I guess there are 50. Chain go. So as you get super comfy, and you have the things, whatever things that you need in your hand. I invite you to close your eyes. And if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you can lower your gaze. And from this place of stillness, we are going to take some deep breaths together. So how we're going to take the deep breaths, you're going to inhale through your nose, making sure your belly pokes out, just really inhaling deeply. And then we're going to audibly sigh it out. So like we do that for several breaths to really bring us back to this present moment. So I invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it a bit and sigh it out. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold it a bit and sigh that out. 2 more times. Inhale deeply through the nose. Expanding the chest and the belly. Holding it there. Sigh it out. Last time, make it a good time. Inhale deeply through the nose. Expanding that chest, expanding that belly. Hold it. Sigh it all out. And from this place of quietness and stillness, I invite you to imagine that you're in a hallway. And at the end of this hallway, there's an elevator. And you see this elevator and you're like, hey, it's the new moon in Aries. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna see what's out there. So you start walking towards the elevator. You press the button. It's the time for risk taking. You are safe. You know that for sure. The elevator opens and you go in. The elevator starts moving down and you are excited about what's on the other end. It finally comes to a stop and the doors open. When the doors open, you look around and you're like, oh man, I wrote about this. I am in my best career, love life, financial situation. And you're so excited you step out knowing that you are going to see everything. I mean, absolutely everything you desire. You smell the smells. You see the colors. You hear the peoples. You are just so excited. You touch the things. You have the conversation. You are at home at this place. And we'll be here for several breaths. Exploring what the perfect looks like to you. The mind wanders all the time. Just come back to it. It's no judgment. Come back to the breath if you need it, taking a deep inhale and exhale when needed to readjust. But it's okay. This is your practice and your time to visualize your best life. See the sights, touch the thing, have the conversation that you need to have. We will be here for several more breaths. But if your mind wandered, I'm here to help you bring it back. Who do you see? Who are you having a conversation with? What does the weather feel like on your skin? What do you hear in the background? What are you eating? Are there people eating? What do you have on? What does everybody else have on? Do you like what you have on? And as you continue to look around and wonder, and excitement and anticipation, you know that this life is possible, that you are worthy of it, that you deserve it, that anything is possible. And as we close out the visualization, you take a couple of last looks around with the knowing that, yeah, this is it. Yeah, it's mine. And you see that elevator again, and you don't want to leave, but you also know, like, you got some work to do. And you walk towards the elevator and you hit the button. And it's not a sadness, but more of a hopefulness and optimism. And so you get into the elevator and it takes you back to the hallway. And as you're walking down the hallway, you are in your bed, you're comfy, it's dark. There's that sliver of the Aries moon. And you're once again reminded that this energy is about starting. It's about beginning. And as you imagine this new moon in Aries, you imagine the energy of this new moon infusing into your crown chakra, the very top of your head, where you have all of your conscious thoughts and unconscious thoughts. And on the inhale, We're going to inhale this energy into our ground chakra, knowing that anything is possible. Deep inhale, sigh it out. And we're going to still use this energy. And so now we're going to infuse your intention, your dream life into your heart, knowing that anything is possible. On the next inhale, you're deeply inhaling the new moon energy into your heart space. Deeply inhale. It's there for you, and sigh it out. And last but not least, we are going to infuse this energy, this intention, this start, this beginning into our sacral, our root chakra, where all things are birthed. And so we take a very big inhale of this new moon energy into our sacral space. And we hold it there for a second, knowing nothing can be birthed because we're great, we're women. And we sigh it out. And as you continue to lay and take some breaths, I want you to know that this is available to you at any time. That you can always come back to the breath. You can always come back to your script. I want you to know that it's possible. I want you to thank yourself for showing up, because it's hard. I want to give gratitude for y'all sharing this experience with me and trusting me to lead you. I'm so very thankful. Dump out all of your breath. We're going to take a big old inhale together. Deep inhale. Sigh it out. Let's bring some motion back to our fingers and our toesies. You can blink your eyes open if you feel like it. And then you can roll to one side, your right or your left, and fetal position. Just be there for a little bit if you're on the ground. And then you're gonna press yourself all the way back up when you get a chance. There's no rush, there's no hurry. Sorry. From this spot, while it is very fresh in your memory, I don't even want you to talk to people about it. I want you to stay with it in your brain. You're gonna flip to page 2 in your thinking about in your packet. And this is the page where I am going to give you some time to write down. This is where we can do 3 to 5 things, right? Or maybe it's just one big thing, right? 3 to 5 things I can do now to make that vision come to pass. And I want you to make them specific, guys. It's very specific. So, for example, like it was me with me saying I want to travel the world. It was like, girl, you're gonna have to actually book a ticket. Mm-hmm. And I have to pick a day to book a ticket. It wasn't about like, well, when I have this, because we can when we have this ourselves to death. Mm-hmm. When this happens, I'll do it. We can do that, and that shit will never ever happen. Mm-hmm. So let's be very specific, and also let's be realistic about it too. Like, so make them doable, make them realistic, but also make them accessible so you can do the 3 to 5 things to make those things happen. more minutes. About 30 seconds. Remember, you could also finish this later, But it's what's that document I call it? It's not a work in progress, but it's an ever evolving document. Yeah. A couple of things I would suggest that worked for me. Everybody's different, but what worked for me is really reading the script every day until I forgot. It just became a habit. So I would definitely say for a week if you can, but then extend it longer, as many times, and then see if things start to change and see if those things start to appear, and you're like, and then you have to re-script because that also happened. Sorry, Cynthia. That also happened to me. Like I was like, yes, but also no. Let me refine this because this is actually not what I wanted at all. So that also happened. So definitely be open to that. Be opening to things happening that don't necessarily look exactly how it looked, but it is the feeling of it, right? Because that's what we want to embody, the feeling of it. That Venus is in Taurus right now. There's this energy of really wanting to feel comfy in your life, really wanting to be stable in your life and secure in your life. And so hopefully this meshes with that you are going to create some sense of security, stability, and love and pleasure and joy. Taurus is Venus's second home. Libra is the other home. So when Venus is in her home sign, she can do all the things. And we need to latch onto it and help us do all the things we want, Venus-like things. So such a sweet time right now. This week, I just think it's going to be super sweet and really kind of life-changing. Your year, you'll be saying, like I said, your year will be split into two pieces. It'll be what happened before the Aries new moon and then everything that happened after the Aries new moon. I think it's just going to be just kind of like magical to watch it happen. I'm excited. I'll get to watch it all and see what happens. Let me read this to you, and then if you want to share, you can share your experience. But if you haven't got this guy, get his books. They're like $15 on Amazon. He ain't plugging me, he ain't giving me no money. But when I was at the very beginning of my healing journey, I follow him on Instagram, and then I was like, let me just get his book. And oh my God, I tell you, I was like, this man know me. How dare you? How dare you? So two, you see I post this, but two that I really want to leave with you. The first one is real courage is listening to your intuition, even when society and people in your life advise against it. A lot of advice comes from fear. People wishing you to stay with the herd and do the normal thing. Taking a calculated risk is not recklessness, it is fearlessness. The world is a giant pool of moving vibrations, waves of energy emitted from all beings. When we cultivate our mind, we cleanse our personal vibe, we reclaim our power by not yielding to what flows around us, and by allowing what is within us to come forward. Remember, the energy you most often repeat is the energy you will most easily connect with. Your vibration is always shining and affecting your environment. Those two things, when you can stand in your authenticity and not give a fuck about what other people are doing, that's real power. I hope this has been I hope this has been helpful, beneficial for y'all. If not, just lie to me. Even though I told you to be authentic, just lie. Does anybody want to share the just? You don't have to. Remember, it's yours. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. Keep these with you. Put them under your pillow. We still have a couple of days of Pisces season. Let's dream. Let's dream big. One thing they can do is be delusional.
Right.
So one thing they great at. So if we embody anything, I'm probably somebody one day is gonna be like, shut the hell up. Shut up them. And I'm gonna give them names and numbers of the people that are Pisces that have grew me up. That's like the nicest way I can say. Random muck in my life. But they are great at being dreamers, right? And they're great at being delusional. And I think there's a time and a place for being delusional. And let's end Pisces season with some delusion of how we can create this best life. Like, why are we not using that for that, you know? Instead of using it for people we should be leaving alone. Girl, ain't bad for you. Stop being delusional. Let's be delusional about goodness. Did you want to share?
Yes.
Go.
Like many people, my prompt was career. I will be 25 this year. And my quarter life crisis is as it starts here.
It starts now.
And I really have been grappling just with what I want to do with work. I have always felt like I'm the person that's good at a lot of things, not really great at one thing, and finding something that I'm passionate about has been my goal is not to find something I'm passionate about, but really I think I find purpose in my career when I feel like I'm contributing my ideas, my thoughts, and I feel like I just have not been able to do that, and I want to just begin transitioning my career into something that I'm really knowledgeable in, and I feel like I'm contributing to my company, whatever. And so I have been dabbling in data analytics and getting into that side of admin and all that good stuff, and I've started some programs, and I just want to stick to those. And so my goal is really to stick to those programs so I can start transitioning my career into something I want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't like talking to people on a daily basis, and being a data analytics, I can not talk to people and just, work from home and go to coffee shops and work, or, and I really want to live that type of life where I have social flexibility and not being pigeon-held and micromanaged all the time. So, yeah, it's really my goal.
Very Virgo of you, wanting to support, right? It's a very Virgo 6th house thing. How can I be of service? Yeah, so this is yours. Keep it with you. Definitely read it over and over again and do the same type of visualization. So every time I would do mine, I would actually do the same kind of oh yeah, ha ha ha, that was so funny. How do you tell a funny joke? That kind of thing in my mindfulness practice. So even right before bed, because it takes you into the dream state. Mm-hmm. So if you read it right before bed, it's always good because you can can't really gauge your dreams unless you're a dreamer, but you can help get the dream there. And this is a really good time for dreaming and intuition. Yeah.
So I don't know, mine is to find the perfect career. I'm curious about so many things, just like you. I'm good at so many things, and I can focus on one. I'm in my 45th year, and this is my 45th, year crisis. Where it's like, I feel like I'm on a place late at the moment, and I have no idea. So it could be positive and negative, right? Because you could just go down the spiral of like, what do I want to do? And there's so many options. Or it's like, oh my God, what do I want to do? There's so many options, right? So it depends how you look at it, right? I don't know which one I'm going for right now. I'm going through a lot of stuff in my life that is giving me the opportunity to. I feel like the universe is making me sit and just listen and follow, and it's been hard. But anyways, but one thing that it keeps popping up, and it's been since I was little, is mediumship, and I get nervous even talking about it because it's a subject that is in my life, has been in my life, but it's hard to talk about it with people, especially because people get freaked out when I tell them the things that happened to me. you know, um, so just sharing right now is like a big deal. So thank you for the space. So when I was laying here, I saw like me doing one-on-ones on, via Zoom or whatever now, group sessions, night mediumship, classes, and then like meditation has been the one thing that I've been talking to other mediums. Like you have to really get into meditation, and it's the hardest thing to do. I can do it 3 days, and it's like I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Even sitting here, right? Like just lying here, it's like
So hard.
my brain goes like all crazy, and I'm just like, okay. So that's the one thing I want to focus on. I think if I open that realm, a lot of other things are gonna happen. Spirituality has been in my life, like for me personally, and I just keep shooting it, even though I'm inside. But it finds its way back. So I just have to accept it. This is who I am, and that's what I wrote.
Yeah.
I wrote, this is my calling, and this is who I am. So,
Yeah, life is so weird and so wild. I think my favorite thing is not saying it's crazy or chaotic, but saying it's wild. It's wild how you get to a certain age, especially your 40s, where you really start like caring less and less and less about what other people think and what other people want from you. And you start really sitting with the like, but I really love this. How come I can't dabble in this? I should be able to dabble in this. And yeah, girl, we've talked about this before. Like, yes, please. Yes, please. So we can all collaborate together and have like really huge things because, Pluto's moving into Aquarius. There is no time to be regimented in this old way of life, right? Pluto and Capricorn was about tearing down the traditions, tearing down the government, tearing down laws, which we have like, we're at 29 degrees, so we're really seeing shit just like fall apart, right? And as it ingresses into Aquarius, it's about collectiveness. How can we bring spirituality to the collective? How can we get the collective to raise the consciousness and just be like about it, like know some things? How can we innovate things for people? How can we transform? How can we kill the old and rebirth into the new? And so I think for a lot of us, it's really going to be coming, no matter really our age, but it's really going to come into like coming into our own in a way that people didn't necessarily think we would come into our own, which is also very sweet because we're all individuals, Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing. I'm sweet. I'm excited. Anybody else? You don't have to. Yeah.
I just want to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
I also interpreted this new moon, Aries, as, I don't know if you guys are aware of the meme, Just Do It, what's his face? He screams, just do it. And I keep seeing that in my head, like, just do it. Like what you were saying, Capricorn's earth signs, all these other signs tend to plan before they actually do whatever they're planning for. And Aries, they maybe have started on a plan, but they're like, I gotta get it going, you know? And I think this is really the time to just do what you've been saying you want to do, you know? We're not always ever really prepared.
No, you're never really prepared for anything. But I think, definitely, Ariana. And especially if you have a lot of fixed energy in your chart. So the Aquarius risings, Leo rising, Scorpio, what's my other favorite one? Taurus, not. But it's very hard for us to change. And we like the same old thing, even if it's not working, because it's the chaos we know, which is much better than the unknown. But what Aries, what we can learn from Aries is like, they don't care about the chaos. They are chaos.
Yes.
Coming in, okay, Tasmanian devil, like, stop it. But they either rile you up in a very good way or they rile you up in a very like, oh, I don't want that or whatever. So I think we do need to start embodying that. And then my mutables, Geminis and Virgos, I don't know why y'all be non-so mutable. Like, I just...
Yeah, I feel like stuck all the
I
time.
know.
I know I'm a Virgo and people say it's a mutable sign. I'm like, what? I'm supposed to be able to change.
I feel like Virgos are the least mutable of the mutables.
I think we're social beautiful. But when it comes to like our own life, we're stagnant and how we we're scared to take leaps into
Yeah.
failure and all that. But when it comes to like hanging out with people and talking to people, that's where
like,
that
it's easy to be
shines.
a chameleon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's
But
like,
it's harder to be like jumping
Yeah.
out and like,
Doing something new.
not being a chameleon and making yourself,
Known
big and
out there.
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
anti.
Yeah.
because I mean, I've always wanted to do art, and like I was going into art school in high school, and then my like stuff happened with my family, like it always seems to do, and like nothing went the way I planned it to go, and so I ended up being a speech therapist, which is fine. It's a great career. Don't hate it. Like I can definitely continue in this. It's a nice, stable, very stable career.
Very stable.
Right.
Very
As long as
stable.
I can just not talk to administration.
Yeah. Yeah. And genetic teachers.
Yeah. And like, but like, and so I've never felt like, because I didn't get the formal art education, like I never felt comfortable sharing it with anyone and like continuing. And now that I'm 40, gonna be 40, oh gosh, way over 45. I'm beyond 45, okay? So, like, now I'm like, I don't care, like, I'm making paintings for people and like starting to share, and I like have this idea in my head of a painting series I want to do, Birds of LA, and like incorporating like social constructs in Los Angeles and like architecture, because I'm not from here, but it's like really interesting to see how people interact with their environment and how the animals around us interact with the environment. And like Deanna has this beautiful little thing you got her where the hummingbirds come all the time, and like that gives her a lot of joy. Like, and there's this little like boring looking bird, but it's so cute, and it has this little black head, and it takes a bath in our pool every day. And this crappy old 1950s pool with a broken bottom that my husband's never gonna fix because we have 3 kids to put through college, but like it's just like so cute, and it gives me so much joy. And I just really wanted to like focus on like, it's okay, like it doesn't have, I don't have to have all of like these steps going on, like just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I mean, you know, me and my astrology thing is literally just doing it. And I have good support. I mean, Ayana's always like, yeah, mom, do it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah. You know, she helps me find tweet things and stuff like that. So she's like my soundboard for this stuff. But yeah, you know, because we gotta survive. So we have our full-time jobs to survive.
That's it.
You know, and then, you know, we'll see what happens if this can turn into a full-time thing. But I think it's very important to, Sun moves into Aries starting, the Sun is then gonna move into Taurus, which really is about diving deeply into creativity, right? And the stability in our resources and making things comfy and cozy for us. And then we're gonna be able to communicate it when it moves into Gemini. And then, you know, get into Cancer and see what can flow forth. And so we just have to really not get hung up on the fear aspect, because I think a lot of us stop because of the fear. Like, no, I don't want people to think this is stupid. I don't think it's stupid. It's not for you then. It's fine. It's
Right.
fine. But hopefully it's for somebody, you know, and that's how we have to look at it. Like one person, okay, cool, it's great. But yeah, anybody else want to share? You don't have to. It's cool. But there's cake, please. Take me some cake. Yeah, I'm gonna take your clipboard, but the papers are yours. The moon is Tuesday, so if you want to write down some dates, I can give you dates. Let me tell you what's happening.
Mom,
Yeah.
can I end it?
Yes. Thanks, kiddo. Let me give you some dates.